Thank you, Senator Peters. And now, Senator Butt.
Thank you, Chairman. Good morning, gentlemen. I want to thank you both for your leadership and your service, particularly your commands of units in North Carolina at Fort Bragg and Camp Lejeune. So I recently returned from both of your overseas areas of responsibility. A common complaint from our allies and our partners is that the foreign military sales process, it's overly complicated and slow. It's just downright bureaucratic. So in that vein, I have a series of questions, and if you would just, if you would give me a simple yes or no to the answers, and then at the end, hopefully we'll have a little more time, and I'll give you some time to elaborate. General Kurilla, is the current FMS process fast and flexible enough to meet our foreign partner security needs in your respective AORs?
In CENTCOM, no.
General Langley?
AFRICOM, no.
Does the transfer of U.S. defense products build our partners' capacity to provide for their own defense and respond to threats? General?
Yes, Senator.
Yes, Senator.
Given the success of Western arms against Russian equipment in Ukraine, is there an increased interest in U.S. defense products in your AOR?
There is a very strong interest in U.S. products.
Very strong in Africa as well, Senator.
Thank you. Thank you. Is China increasing arms exports to any countries in your AOR, General Kurilla?
Yes, Senator.
General Langley?
Senator, it's kind of flatlined right now.
But they have been before.
They have been before in the past.
Thanks. Is the United States still the security partner of choice in your AORs?
It is, Senator.
Absolutely, Senator. It is in Africa.
Is the United States at risk of losing that security partner of choice status to either China or Russia?
China is making inroads. I do not assess Russia is.
It is at risk, Senator.
So if you elaborate a bit, if you could each explain how FMS challenges are impacting strategic competition with China and Russia in your AORs, if you'd elaborate on that, please.
Sure, Senator. So in the CENTCOM AOR, with the number of attacks that we see in there, our partners have real security needs, and so they want to have the equipment they need fast. What China is able to do is come in very quickly, open up their catalog, let them pick from anything in it, very quickly deliver it. There is no end-user agreement, but what they don't do is they don't follow up with it, and they don't have the training, the expertise, the sustainment, the upgrades. And what we do find with our partners is when they buy Chinese equipment, a vast majority of it becomes non-mission capable a year or so after they have that equipment. And we do see a complaint from that. They want to buy U.S. equipment, but sometimes it is the timeline to get it that is a hindrance.
And the process?
The process is what takes the time to do it. And I know that the Department of Defense has a Tiger team to look specifically at what the Department of Defense can do to increase its, there's 4 levers: Department of Defense, State, Congress, and Industry. And I know Department of Defense is looking at their lever.
Thank you. General Langley?
Senator, I've characterized in my assessment since taking command that West Africa is at a tipping point. And what I mean is how these extremist groups, whether we're talking about ISIS, West Africa, or even JNM or Boko Haram, they're all at the door, especially at the Gulf of Guinea states. As I've done my travels, and I was in Ghana, they said, we don't want your boots on the ground, but we would like your equipment. All we need in Ghana, all we need to affect the Accra Initiative, which is a coalition of states of Togo, Benin, and Cote d'Ivoire. But they want equipment. Before they go across the line of departure, they need equipment. They want U.S. equipment, but they know how long it takes. So they're considering, because that these affiliates are at their back door, they need something now. They want to come with us, Senator, but the process is too slow, and they need to be able to affect a viable offense to help Cote d'Ivoire, to affect Burkina Faso save their own country. So we're showing what we would like to see, partner-led, U.S.-enabled, but we need to step with the U.S.-enabled at this point.
Yeah, that matches conversations with our allies recently. Can you please discuss how your requirements for Special Operations Forces has grown and what cuts to SOF in strength would have on your operations?
Senator, I rely very heavily on our Special Operations Forces in the CENTCOM AOR. They are doing tremendous work. Any cuts in the CENTCOM region would affect me significantly.
You're taking the heart out of our efforts, both in the East and the West, with our Special Operations Forces of AFRICOM.
Thank you both. Chairman, I yield back.
Thank you very much, Senator Budd. Senator King, please.